Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nightmare Collective. I'm Chris and welcome to our new series, Real Fear. We're going to be diving into the facts and fiction of our favorite horror creatures and characters throughout history. So today we're going to be covering the great Krampus, half boy, half demon, half man, Santa's bro, best friend. And to help me do this, I'm welcoming my co-host Dave, who's going to be covering the history of Krampus. So strap in, roast your chestnuts, grab some eggnog and bourbon, and let's get into this.
I knew St. Nicholas was not coming this year. Instead, it was a much darker, more ancient spirit. The shadow of St. Nicholas. It was Krampus.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Krampus 101. I'm Dave, and I'm here to give you a crash course on our main man, Krampus. He comes out of 12th century German lore and is the son of the Norse god Hel. He is commonly mistaken as the antithesis to jolly old St. Nicholas, but that couldn't be further from the truth. He is actually the counterpart to St. Nick. So while good boys and good little girls get nice presents, nice toys, and lovely things from good old St. Nick, if you were bad that year, then you got a lovely visit from old Krampus. This half demon, half goat man would come through your house and either beat you with branches, take you back to hell in his sack, which doesn't have toys in it, or just straight up eat you. And what a better way to spend Christmas. And that's been the Facts with Dave. Here we go back over to Chris for the fiction.
Thanks, Dave, for that crash course in Krampus lore. Okay, so this next section is going to revolve around the few films we watched involving Krampus. So the first one we watched was called A Christmas Horror Story. Now, this was an anthology. We did not know this going in. We saw the trailer, we saw Krampus fighting Santa, and we were like, we're in, man. You know what I want? I want to see Krampus fuck up Santa, even though in reality they are best friends and they kind of hang out all the time, and Santa's like, yo, this kid's being a piece of shit. Go fuck him up, and that's what he does. But anyway, so we get through this movie. We're following like 5 different storylines. I'm not going to get into that because I just want to focus on the actual Krampus parts of this movie, which are nonsense, mind you. We find out that basically anybody can become Krampus if they've got evil and darkness. This is some like Nomura, like Kingdom Hearts bullshit we got going on here. It's very convoluted, it makes no sense, and it's overall just bad. And then when we get to the part where we were excited about, which was the Krampus Santa fight, we find out that now this isn't really Krampus. This is just somebody who's got evil in their heart, and this is not even fucking Santa. This is some dude who clearly had a mental breakdown. Is just fucking murdering people in a mall. So at the end of the day, this film is just like all over the place. None of the threads are like really resolved in a meaningful way. And I just think the Krampus part was just utter fucking bullshit. And I hated all of it. You know, especially in relation to actual Krampus lore. This is wildly playing fast and loose with that lore. And I know most films do. But like, and I'm not saying I'm like a Krampus purist here. I'm just saying that like, if you're going to do Krampus, not some kid who just hulks out and becomes Krampus. That shit's stupid. So at one point we got like multiple Krampus going on. I'm not going to belabor anymore. I just really didn't like this movie, and Dave didn't either. So we're going to move on to the second film we watched, which was called The Christmas Devil. Or as Dave and I like to call it, stock footage the movie, because clearly this dude filmed this on a handycam in his backyard with like 3 of his friends for about $12.75. That's the exact number he spent on this film. And then he basically used Canva to like edit this film, which I'll say, you know, sneak peek behind the camera. Most YouTubers, we might use Canva or Photoshop like that, but we're YouTubers. We're not trying to make feature films here, so like, it's fine for us. It's not fine for you who's like, I'm gonna make a movie. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna produce and edit and cut and film this film, and it was awful. Like, not only from an execution point was it terrible, but like the story made no sense. So I'm gonna briefly show you a scene from it, which is my favorite scene in the movie, and it's the very beginning of the movie where Krampus just like utterly fails at like drowning this kid. So I'm gonna briefly show you that scene, and then we're gonna discuss it. So here we go. Okay, so you've seen the scene. He's dragging this kid and he's screaming along. He throws him in this like little lake, and then the kid just pops the fuck out. And Krampus is like, yeah, that's all right. Like, he doesn't even kill this kid. He doesn't even wait around to see if he's killing this kid. But also, why is Krampus just like drowning kids? It makes no sense. And then they throw in this like police angle, you know, it felt like one of those like direct-to-DVD Hellraiser movies that we got for a long time before this recent one. That's basically what this felt like. It's like a dude just wanted to be a cop. Krampus was like in no way depicted like anywhere near how he should be, and I'll say he's depicted better in the last movie, but he's not even Krampus in the last movie, so I don't know. But overall, I hated this movie. There's actually a sequel to this movie as well. We watched about 5 minutes of that and then turned that shit off. So overall, this was kind of a dud. Like, we had 2 strikes, but I will briefly talk about a good Krampus movie. We'll leave this on a positive note. Dave has not seen the 2015 Michael Dowdry Krampus film. I have, so I'm going to briefly talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything. We are going to go more in depth on this movie in our Nightmare Flashback series later this month, so stay tuned for that. I will be talking about this in greater detail. I fucking love this movie. Story's great. All the art direction is great, which I didn't expect anything less from Michael Dowdry. If you haven't seen Trick or Treat, check out Trick or Treat. He does Halloween. Great. I'll link that review up below. I did that recently. But this film, the cast is great. Toni Collette's great. Adam Scott is phenomenal as always. And it's just a fun film. It's dark. People fucking just get murdered by Krampus. And the one thing you learn is that Krampus is only going to show up if you disavow Christmas. And that's what this kid does. He rips up his Santa note and he's like, fuck it. Fuck Christmas. And Krampus was on his door. And he just, you know, went to town. He murdered people. He's going to take you to hell, throw you in a sack. He's going to actually kill you, unlike the last 2 films with not Krampus in them. So the biggest thing that we learned from the lore to how he's depicted in film is that they always depict him as the bad guy, when in reality, Krampus is just a counterpoint, man. He like went around with Santa Claus. They were like bros forever, you know? They'd show up together and give toys together, but then on the off chance that some dumbass kid was like, fuck Christmas, Krampus was there to murder him. So that's basically all I've got. I hope you enjoyed our new series in this look at Krampus. We're gonna be doing different cryptoids and like different like figures across history, so like Jack the Ripper, stuff like that. So if you've got anything you think we should cover, let us know in the comments below. But that's been it. So if you like what we do here, consider becoming part of the collective. And like always, don't forget, some doors should never be open.
Bring you, give you, bring you, give you, bring you, give you. Fuck me.
All right, I got this. I got this.
You got it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nightmare Collective. I'm Chris, and thanks for stopping by. Nope, I don't got it. See? I got it.